The importance of showing up. The importance of showing up every day to get things done cannot be understated. It is the only way to achieve your goals, make progress, and have a successful and fulfilling life. There is a saying that goes, 80% of success in life is showing up. So if you want to be successful, you need to show up. You need to make it a priority in your life even when you don't feel like. You need to focus on what you want and give it the time that it deserves. If you don't show up, then you are not going to get anything done. And that can lead to a lot of frustration and disappointment later on in your life. By showing up, you will be more likely to do what you have planned and you will have a better chance of getting what you want. When you show up and commit yourself to be present and do what you need to do at work, home, or school, you boost your productivity and your success rate to accomplish what you want increases. The following is what happens when you show up and do what you need to do. Number 1. By showing up, you make a commitment to yourself. By committing yourself to show up, you start creating a habit. The idea is that if you repeat something often enough, it becomes a part of your routine. The phrase, showing up is half the battle, it's often used to describe how important it is to make an effort, regardless of the outcome. It's about commitment and action. Sometimes we get paralyzed by fear, and we fail to act. But one way to overcome fear and lack of inspiration is to show up. Showing up can sometimes be difficult, but it will get easier with time if you do it consistently. Number 2. By showing up, you make a commitment to your goals and ambitions. One of the most important things to do when setting goals is to actually show up and do the work. Showing up means making the time to perform the tasks needed to complete your goals. This doesn't mean you have to work non-stop on your goal every day, but it does mean that you need to put the time necessary in order to get things done. Since goals are what you want to realize in the future, it is a good idea to establish a timeline that can help you stay on track so you can achieve them. You can establish a timeline that includes short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Number 3. By showing up, you can create momentum. Sometimes we are stuck and we don't know where to go next, and sometimes some of us often make excuses to justify our lack of progress. But just the act of showing up and start doing, even when it's hard and you are tired and you don't feel like, can help you create the momentum necessary to keep on going and get things done, without just waiting for the so-called right thing to happen or waiting for the perfect moment that may never come. Remember that inspiration comes with action, and stray thoughts often lead to great ideas and solutions. Number 4. By showing up, you stay accountable for your actions and behaviors. When you show up to do the work, you are more likely to take accountability for your actions and behaviors, and therefore you will be more inclined to stick with it. But when you don't show up, you get a false sense of security and eventually laziness sets in. You feel like your commitment is all good because you aren't emotionally or physically involved. But that's not how commitment works. The true commitment comes from involvement and action, and not from some arbitrary time frame on a calendar. Many times, showing up is the only way to get something that you really want in your life. Number 5. By showing up, you can make a difference even when you don't feel like. When you show up consistently, you start building a new habit and it becomes second nature. Also, studies show that the more regularly you make yourself do something, even when you don't feel like, the more relief and less stress you will feel. This is because research shows that when you repeatedly make yourself do something that you don't want to do, your brain will eventually associate this activity with feelings of relief and pleasure. In other words, you will start liking showing up. So there you are. When you show up, your success rate increases, whether that's in your career, relationships, or personal pursuits. People are more likely to succeed because they show up and do the work. Motivate yourself often and show up. Create the spark to bring to your life what you want. Find the strength to keep yourself moving forward even when things are not working as you had planned. And be willing to do the little things that you can do without being too concerned about the big things that you cannot do. Otherwise, you will end up doing nothing and your dreams will become impossible.